So how was food, everyone? Yeah? First of all, before, oh, no. We got it? We got it. Social media, sorry. Yeah. First of all, before I even start, I want to say thank you for choosing my session. I'm just kidding, there is no other session, so it's not that you've got a choice for it. And if that's okay with you, I really, really like to dedicate this keynote to my loving parents, to my father, who was a farmer, and to my mother, that was a horse. We're here about to talk. Nah, you get used to it, don't worry. It's just going to get worse, trust me. That was just the beginning. So we're here to talk about what's going on front end. Are there any backend developers by chance? Wow, why are you here? Because there's a lot of food, yeah? No, we front-end developers, we like to feed hungry back-end developers. That's the reason we come to these conferences, yeah? Food is much better than the Java conferences, trust me. Please remember this statement, because that's going to be the most important thing. The one thing that I would like you to take from this entire presentation will be exactly that. That up until now, we are the discussion will always be how we optimize, where to render, back and front and whatever it is, hybrid, I don't know. Oh, yeah, you need to start to otherwise I can move forward. Now we're going to optimize and we're going to focus on what we want to render. But if we like to learn about the future, we need to go back to the past. Silence in the room. Sometimes they just like to shut up and see what's gonna happen. Look at the faces. So let's start with how we got here now. Let's start with the server era. Who was building web applications back then, 1996? Tell me, how old are you? Yeah, all right. 20% of the people. So for the rest of you, all right? 1996, 2005, something like that. Server-side rendering, but real server-side rendering. I started my career as a Java developer. Sometimes we build stuff for the web, JSP, ASP, PHP. All of these technologies were like the most on-demand technologies. HTML, CSS, JavaScript is just for the, for the designers. We are like real software developers. We don't care about how beautiful it looks like. Actually, I think that user experience wasn't a thing at all. The browser was just a simple box that know how to statically render HTML, do whatever you want, send some HTML to the server, and let the designer make it pretty. This is an actual photo of a Java developer from back then. All the photos that you're going to see today are part of the exposition that you can find on the Front-End Museum in Canada. So if you like the address, I'm going to give it to you later. But these days, PHP developers, that was the most demanding. Is there anyone here that actually has been a PHP developer back then? Yeah, you were kings. Like that is literally an original image of how it looks like. But then the Flash era. Flash, yeah. Who did Flash for his living? I did Flash, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Flash basically means we don't care about the DOM. Let's skip the DOM. Let's just, paint pixels in some kind of a black box. Let's install this Flash player, and that's it, yeah? Load forever, and then you've got, like, performance. And basically, for all of you that didn't have a chance to use this technology, it was amazing. Until Stevanius Jobios, somewhere in 2010, invented a device and decided that from this time and forward, Flash will never run on my iPhone-iOS thingy, all right? And that's like literally killed my career. But I switched to JavaScript, and that's the reason I'm here today. If you want to take a second and scan this is actually one of the best. You know what? Don't do it now. We'll give you the slides later. But check it out. It's a very nice video from Apple history of this very important moment where like we developed rich internet applications with Flash and it suddenly disappeared. So we got to the Ajax area. Ajax area, kind of like our page is gonna fight back. Now we don't need to get static HTML from the server. We can just get data and do all the rendering or part of the rendering on the client side, which is amazing. But why just use a sprinkle of JavaScript if we can just use tons of JavaScript on the client? Which brings us to the single page of, application or SPA era, which is also called the Renaissance. AngularJS, 2010. I just put this logo because I think that was the framework that literally made MVC so popular and literally changed the world. And suddenly, all of us, we just don't care about anything. Yeah, we're front-end developers. We build the enterprise on top of AngularJS, and we don't care about security, performance, stuff like this. That doesn't matter. The fun part, though, is that the same PHP developer now is unemployed. Original image, oil on canvas. You can buy a sample of this after my session if you like. Which brings us to Act 2. The comeback. The great split. Suddenly, there is a new title in the industry. There is front-end and there is back-end. Before of that, we were just software developers. Now there's a wall between us. Each one of us is specialized in a very, very specific area. Back-end developers don't want to touch JavaScript. Same as the opposite. There's an API between us, which brought a lot of bad things. Yeah, front-end became so complicated. For example, micro front-end. Instead of having one problem, let's have many problems, and then try to make it work. And no one want to touch it. But server-side rendering coming for us again. Server-side rendering, BFF. BFF stands for back-end for front-end. No. Almost, yeah? The edge runtime, GraphQL, suddenly we start to return to the server because we understand we took it a little bit too far, and we need to fix something, all right? Let's move forward. That's not the case anymore, by the way, yeah? But that was back then, happy days. React server components, streaming, user experiences, and you think, how many of you, just out of curiosity, how many of you use React on a daily basis? Raise your hand, let's see. All right. How many of you use Angular on a daily basis? How many of you use Vue.js on a daily basis? Oh, is there more than 5 people in the world that actually use it? In production or just site? No, I didn't have any idea. But then a new generation of frameworks, but now we don't call it frameworks anymore. We call it meta frameworks, because it's much cooler, yeah? So we've got Next, and we've got Next, which is like trying to mimic Next, like Nike and Hike. No. And we've got SvelteKit, and Angular is not here anymore. Still a wonderful framework, but it doesn't have any meta framework on top of it. Half of our stuff is rendered on the server side, half of our stuff is rendered on the client side. And remember the statement where we started at? Like, we are still focusing on where we render. Like, the entire front end, role is just to decide it's going to be server side, hybrid, client side, hydrated, I don't know. But then the twist, AI. Yeah, you have to talk about AI if you wanna get accepted as a speaker to a conference. No, but it's here. We can't get around it. And suddenly, a lot of applications becoming just, back to a single page, but something changed. Something is much more dynamic. So we're kind of starting to see like a movement from pre-built screens into something more specific, like an on-demand experience. Because as front-end developers, we know the drill. We implement a design system. We build a bunch of components. But then we look at the Figma files, and we compose them into pages. That's the way it is. And if you've got pages, you've got routing. And if you've got routing and pages and everything is a single-page application, you need to deal with state management. And website today is still looking like this, although all I care about is basically one single component. I mean, let's do something very, very spontaneously. Let's go, for a second, let me hide all of this. And let's go to my web browser. So unprofessional. I've got so many things open up. Where am I? Let's go to a popular website. All right? What? Are we good, guys? All right. Let's go to a popular website, like Booking.com, very popular. Still, if I want to book a hotel, I need to go the entire process and want to go to New York, and I need to set the dates, and then I hit search, and then there's like results, and that's not enough. I need to go ahead and keep filtering to find the right some more things that I care about. Eventually, I'm going to get into a single component and single hotel, and then I'm going to dive in and want to see the details, pictures, and what it is. So the question is, why do I need today, with all of this, where's the slide? With all of this AI all around, why can't I just, prompt, hey, I'm looking for a hotel, this price, this and that, and give me exactly what I need. So let's move away from this, taking all of these components and build pages, and start to rethink about front-end. Because that's the next shift. It's not where to render, it's what to render. Let's take single components and render them to the client when he needs it, when he asks for it. It's much better to show it to you with a tiny live demo. Would you like to see a live demo? I'm just asking, after lunch and stuff. Just want to make sure that we're good. All right, for the live demo, let me open up VS Code, close it, and go ahead and use a professional IDE. Wow. The first example will be that, all right? We have a chat. Let's ask him, who are you? Who are you? He's going to tell me, hey, I'm a great assistant. I'm a home decorator assistant. It's a little bit slow. I'm a home decorator. I can help you choose a color. Great. Help me choose a color for my living room. Nice. Conversation, great UX, and then keep going. Wait a second. Let me know. Oh, it's so slow. Come on. All right, great. To assist you, tell me what is your base color. How can you describe color with words? It's going to be not that easy, not that straightforward. So I can just ask him, I can describe with words. Show me a way to choose color. And naturally, in between the chat, I can get a nice dynamic UI that will help me to choose the base color and move forward in the conversation. So it's like an entirely new thinking about, we like to start with a conversation, with a chat, but in some point, it makes more sense to get a specific graphical user interface to move the conversation forward, because it's much easier, it's more native, it makes more sense. If we take it to another example, I want to build like an entire online pizza ordering, whatever it is. I can start ordering my pizza. And everything starts as a single page. I can ask to see the menu, and then I can get some text, but I can also get some nice pictures and a nice UI component, because for some users, just using text is so hard that now it's going to be much easier to me to process and customize the pizza with this nice, tiny micro interaction, micro app, whatever you want to call it, running as part of my conversation inside the feed. I'm getting the prices. I've got tiny state management. I can add it to cart. It's then being translated into a prompt, and then I move forward and I can complete my order. So if today I'm going to build an online pizza delivery application, I probably won't go with, bunch of screens and tons of UI. And if you want to get started, go ahead and look at the menus and sign in. And why? I can start with a conversation. I can slice. I can chop my entire website into tiny components and then send them if needed. Because for you, maybe, have a conversation with text will be much easier. You will never get a UI. But for my mother is not a good, it's not a good example. She doesn't have hands. For another person, It was just a flashback from the introduction. Just to see that you're focused. For another person, it's going to be much, much easier just to use UI. Cool? If you like to see just sneak peek how it looks like when it comes to code, basically what you see here is LLM, interaction with LLM, an LLM-driven app. So I've got my own system prompt and a conversation, and then I've got some customized tools. For example, render a simple color picker to help the user select a basic color, which return, in this case, a React component. So in between the conversation, instead of returning text, I can return React components. Cool? Guys, for us as the front developers, it means something. First of all, it means that even in the AI era, we are still needed. Graphical UI is still relevant. We've got job security. Now, our job is to make it so complicated, so we'll be employed forever, all right? All right, you already seen all of this. So the concept is, the next big thing is front-end as we know it, like the title said. That's it. No more screens. Now we start thinking about micro-interactions. And you know what the best part about it? I'm going to show you soon. Is anyone here see the announcement yesterday from OpenAI? Raise your hand high. Only few people, so you already know what I'm talking about. All right? All right, we already seen the live demo. Let's try to wrap it up, all right? We went from fully server-side rendering into Ajax, into single-page application, into front-end, back-end split, back to server-side rendering, back-end for front-end, React server component. We got the whole thing, but we're still focusing on where we want to render. We're still stuck in this pattern of pages and menus and submenus, although the whole world is moving toward applications that deal with conversation, prompts. It starts with prompts. It doesn't have to end with prompts, all right? So the front end has shifted again. I'm not worried about it because, as the history lesson already showed, we already been there. It's moved from side to side, but this time it's a different mental mode. And it affects the way we design our website. It affects the way we implement our website. And it's even affect how we choose which socks we're going to wear this morning. If you don't understand what's the connection between it, I can explain to you later. You can find me by the coffee machine. Our design system now is a palette. We don't need to take the extra step. We will still build single component, single interactive micro interactions, but now it's going to be combined and streamed on demand. And the beauty about it is yesterday, OpenAI announced some kind of a revolution, and they even used Booking.com. Now we can build applications that render within the chat. So it starts with the conversation, and then you've got an entire pieces of a UI exactly like my ugly demo. But that's much better. And you've got the whole SDK to build it. So when I did the exact same session, I don't know, a week ago, people came to me and said, well, it's really, really nice, but you think that's we should really care about it or just, play with it? And then this announcements yesterday, and now you can go ahead and download the SDK and start building, thinking, and design a brand new front-end UI applications that are integral part of conversation within your chat. So I think it's amazing. We can feel the power in silence. Yeah. First of all, thank you very much. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. My name is Nir Kaufman, was already introduced. 20 years in the industry, So I've been through this process from Flash until now, doing a lot of front-end. Most of my career is front-end client side. I've been a software developer, front-end developer, full-stack developer, stuff like this. If you want, you can scan this a QR right now. Go ahead and do it. Tell me what you got. Yeah, you should move away. All right. And that's another lesson to you. It doesn't matter how front-end change, never trust the client. I would like to thank my sponsor, Nir Kaufman's Coconut Hair Cream. If you like to get strong hair when you're 45, like mine, I never color it. Come and meet me after my session. I've got samples for you. It's got nothing to do with front-end, but why not? To make some business. And sorry about the PHP jokes, but if you know someone that actually uses PHP, we've got a branch here in the Netherlands that's a true phone number. Please give him the number. I'm one of the founders, and we will help him to catch up with what's going on today. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you very, very much, and see you later.